तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, welcome and request to all the devotees to please keep your videos on. That will be very encouraging to us. And let's take a quick recap. What we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto 5th chapter, and what happened in shloka number 17. What happened in shloka number 17? Bhagavatam makes a very bold statement that on one hand, there is a person who is performing his duties perfectly, material duties, but does no bhakti. On another hand, there is a person who has given up material duties and taken to bhakti but failed. He has failed to get success in bhakti. The person who is failure in bhakti after trying is considered to be much better. So that was 17 shloka. And 18 shloka, Narad Muni tells Vyasdev that everybody should target that purposeful end. Tasyaiva heto prayatirtha kovido. Those who are intelligence, they go for that purposeful end. But still that question remains in the mind. What happens to that person who falls down? Because this was Arjuna's question again and again. Even Arjuna told a person who is unsuccessful yogi becomes like a riven cloud. In Hindi, there's a very famous phrase, Nagarka na Ghatka. This person could be nowhere. So what about that guy? We really want to know. So this Vyasdev, although he was hearing the 17th shloka, he heard the 18th, his still focus was on the previous person. What about that person who becomes unsuccessful in bhakti somehow or the other because of weak determination? He falls to Maya. And this must be everybody's question. What about that guy? Because we left him there only. You told he's more successful. He's better than a person who's materially successful and does no bhakti. That's all right, but what about that person who's unsuccessful? What happens to him? And that is going to be answered in today's shloka. Hare Krishna. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 5th chapter, 19th shloka. Nave jano jatu katanjana vrajin Mukunda sevyan vayadanga samsritim Smaran mukundangri upaguhanam punar Vihatumichenna rasagraho jana Nave jano jatu katanjana vrajin Mukunda sevyan vayadanga samsmritim Smaran mukundangri upaguhanam punar Vihatumichenna rasagraho jana न वै जनो जातु कथञ्चन व्रजन् मुकुन्द सेव्यन्वयदङ्ग संस्मृतिं स्मरन् मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रि उपगूहनं पुनर्विहातुम् इच्छेन्न रसग्रहो जनः. Anybody desiring to recite? Okay. Here is Bhakti Sundari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then Western. न वै जनो जातु कथञ्चन व्रजेन् मुकुन्द सेव्यन्न वदङ्ग संसृतिम् स्मरन् मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रि उपगृह्य पुनर् विहातुमिच्छेन्न रसग्रहो जनः.
Thank you. Yes, Sachidanand Prabhu.
न वै जन जातु कथञ्चन अव्रजेत मुकुन्द सेवी अन्यवत् अङ्ग संसृतम् स्मरन् मुकुन्द अङ्घ्रि उपगृहणं पुनः विहातुम् इच्छेत न रसगरा. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Prabhu. So now let's go for the translation. Anybody would like to hear read the translation? Okay, go on. We'll give chance to Mother Shalini. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Prabhuji. My dear Vyasa, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes falls down somehow or other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, fruitive workers, etc. Because a person who has once relished the taste of the lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again.
Wow, amazing. Thank you. So Narad Muni is giving assurance. He's elaborating on just one point. And what's that point? There is absolutely nothing called durbhagya or misfortune for a devotee. Even if because of poor determination, insufficient determination, the person who is a servant of Mukunda, Mukundangri, who is serving the lotus feet of Mukunda. Why Krishna gets the name Mukund? Because he is the provider of mukti. He provides mukti. He can give mukti to those who don't deserve also. If you look at other avatars, they give mukti to the people who deserve. But people like asuras who don't deserve mukti, Krishna can give it to them. That's why he's called as Mukunda. Yes? So such a person who has poor determination but has somehow or the other developed rasagraho jana. He has had some taste to serve the lotus feet of Mukunda. No, he will not come back to samsara. Samsara means what here? Samsara means he will not return to that enjoying the result of karma. He will not become a karmi. Who is karmi? Karmi means a person who enjoys the result or fruits of his work. Such a person is called karmi. So Krishna is giving, Narada Muni is giving assurance that such a person who has got that rasa, the taste, will not become a karmi. Yes. On the other hand, those who practice karma, they have to come back to the samsara again and again. Yes. Now, one more thing. Usually, karmis experience pleasure or distress because of their own karma. But a devotee never experiences pleasure or distress because of their karma. This is a fact. A devotee experiences pleasure and pain only because of Krishna. It is Krishna who directly gives happiness and distress to a devotee. There's a verse that comes in the prayers of the Vedas personified that says, Tvad avagami naveti bhavadutta subha shubhayor. So, Tvad avagami naveti bhavadutta shubha ashubhayor. Yes. So, person who has realized you, he doesn't care for good or bad fortune, shubha ashubha. Naveti, he doesn't bother about it. Because you control Tvad avagami. You are controlling his good fortune and bad fortune. Na karma bandhanam janma vaishnavanam cha vidyate. Padma Purana also says this very clearly. Vaishnavas never have a rebirth because of karma. If they are having rebirth, it is directly given by Krishna. So all pleasure, pain, rebirth, like Bharat Maharaj's rebirth was given by Krishna directly, not by Maya. It was not by the karmic arrangement. It may look similar, but it is not like that. Correct. So anybody who has served and got rasa, serving Lord Mukunda, they become sevaks of Mukunda. Krishna says, okay, fine, I will take care. So what is that? Why this particular, what is the gift provided? So the gift is upaguhanam. Upaguhanam means what? Upaguhanam means that mental remembrance. It's like an embrace. Somebody is embraced by the spiritual master. They feel, oh, we got embrace of Guru Maharaj, and they remember it. It's a lifelong memory. Yes, people take photos with senior devotees and sometimes they tell senior devotees, please keep your hand on my head, and they take photo, And they'll remember it. Oh, this senior devotee put their hand on my head. That becomes a lifelong cherished memory, right? And they remember that again and again. So similarly, any interaction with Krishna, that becomes a lifelong cherished memory. And then a person want to taste that again and again. So he doesn't say remembering Krishna's lotus feet, but remembering the embrace of Krishna's. That is what is Mukundangri Upaguhanam Punar, the embrace of Krishna's lotus feet. Even when Dhruva Maharaj got darshan of Krishna, Krishna came in front of him. He embraced Krishna's lotus feet and was kissing Krishna's lotus feet again and again. So that's the experience. So again and again that that slideshow or that video, that clip will keep playing in your mind again and again. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. So even if once, twice, thrice, because of poor determination, somebody is going away from Krishna consciousness, this remembrance will be sent by Lord. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna as Paramatma, as Chaitya Guru within the heart, will keep giving this remembrance. That is why in our preaching, in our community building, or in our experiences in temples, we should ensure that we all get and we all also provide such kind of experience to everybody, where they develop taste. Somehow, in some way, they have embraced the lotus feet of Lord, which lotus feet of Lord means some service, some taste in service, because that is something that will make them come again and again. In Srila Prabhupada's times, Prabhupada would make gulab jamuns, ISKCON bullets, and all the hippies would come and they would keep eating these ISKCON bullets. Prabhupada would keep making it. And some of them would carry the ISKCON bullets in some vessels or packets to their home. And they used to eat in their home. And when that gets over, they would miss gulab jamun. Oh, that tasty gulab jamun that Swamiji used to make. I think I have to go back. And with that, for the taste of that gulab jamun, they would come back to the association of devotees. They would come back to the association of devotees and continue giving taking the gulab jamun. So they came for that gulab jamun's taste. Similarly, the taste in serving the lotus feet of Krishna will again and again drag that person who has gone to Maya, and that person will foolishly repent. Even if he goes to Maya, oh alas, what have I foolishly done? I gave up the worship of Lord. What is this? There was so much of taste there. Bhakti Ananda. I got a glimpse of Bhakti Ananda. I want it back. There is nothing like that in this material world. And thus, he comes back. Yes, he comes back. So one more thing that Acharya has mentioned is that whenever there is one thing that should not be there, is when this person has developed the taste, there should not be a presence of pride. Yeah. Yes, there should not be pride. There should be rather humility. I'm not qualified, but still I got this rasa. I became rasagraha jana. Yes. It is just like a person haunted by a ghost. It is said that maya grasta jiva hoya mati channa hoya. The Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions that anybody who is under the control of maya, mati channa hoy, his intelligence is bewildered as though he is haunted by some ghost. But such a person who has become rasagraha, eager for that rasa of serving Krishna, that he is haunted by rasa. And this kind of haunting by rasa is something that makes one go ahead. Oh, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava. Because what we get initially is called as rati abhas. Now this is mentioned by even Rupa Goswami. Even His Holiness Shivram Maharaj discusses all of this in his Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani, his book, very brilliantly written. So there is rati abhas, bhava abhas. So in association of pure devotees, sometimes in kirtans when the pure devotees are going on, we also get bhav. And actually it is we are borrowing their bhav. It's not our bhav, it's called bhava abhas. So one of the days we'll discuss the technicalities. There is pratibimba abhas, pratibimba rati abhas, there is chaya rati abhas. So one is the reflection, Another one is the shadow. So both kind of bhavabhas is there mentioned. So all these experiences one gets. Before bhav comes, bhavabhas has to be there. So we all get a glimpse of that rati. That is being spoken about here. We are not reached bhava, but you get an abhas. It is like bhava. Just like before you get Shuddhanam, you get Shuddhanama abhas, Nabhabhas stage. It is like the name. But even Nabhabhas leads to mukti. Eka Krishna Namaloy Sarva Papakshay. And we are practicing for that Namabhas. So for Namabhas, you have to give up the offenses. Yes. So from the first time you do your worship, the first japa you do, the first worship you do, the first service you do, there is some portion of rasa that is given to you. It is given. That is the mercy of Lord. He gives that taste. And somehow because of that taste, we continue. Yes. How many of you have seen initially when we started japa, we used to get a lot of taste. And eventually that taste went away. Have experience? Yes. So why that happened? We got the taste because that's the mercy of Lord. He gives the rasa. Krishna personally provides the rasa so that a devotee is inclined to do bhakti. Otherwise, there won't be any inclination to do. You will not continue. There has to be taste. Correct. But later on, what happens? Because of mental offenses committed, we lose the taste. We commit mental offenses. We start taking bhakti cheaply. We take it for granted. Okay, we do this every day. Okay. The moment respect, kintu adarat anudinam, the adar or the respect is lost, then you fall back. Now you have to earn it back. You have to, each and every point you have to earn back. And this particular earning is by increasing the hankering and stopping the offensive behavior. Correct? Okay. Can someone read the purport? Who like, okay, there are hands raised. We'll start with Raksha Mataji. Please read.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanvat Punam. Purport. A devotee of the Lord automatically becomes uninterested in the enchantment of material existence because he is a rasa graha, or one who has tasted the sweetness of the lotus feet of Lord Buddha. There are certainly many instances where devotees of the Lord have fallen down due to uncongenial association, just like fruitative workers, who are always prone to degradation. But even though he falls down, a devotee is never to be considered the same as a fallen karmi. A karmi suffers the result of his own fruitative reaction, whereas a devotee is reformed by chastisement directed by the Lord Himself. The, the suffering of an orphan and the suffering of a beloved child of a king are not one and the same. An orphan is really poor because he has no one to take care of him, but a beloved son of rich man, although he appears to be on the same level as the orphan, is always under the vigilance of his capable father. A devotee of the Lord, due to wrong association, sometimes
Imitates.
intimates the fruitative workers.
Yeah, he imitates the fruitative workers.
Yeah.
Imitation. Okay, we just discussed earlier. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
What is being spoken here? Here first, Prabhupada is giving assurance that the immediate when you perform bhakti, three things happen. Just like bhakti process is compared to eating. Bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktir anyatra tye satrika ekakala. Prapadyamanasya yathasnatasyus tushti pushti shuddha apayonughasam. Just like anughasa, you keep eating. What happens? The first thing that happens is you get the pleasure of taste. You get taste. Oh, the food is so tasty because the tongue comes in contact. The second thing that happens is your hunger is gone. A person who is hungry, the hunger goes away. And thirdly, what happens? Thirdly, you get strength to perform activities. You get energy. So these three things happen when we eat. Similarly, when we perform bhakti, there are three things that happen simultaneously. Simultaneously means it's fast. It happens one after the other, but it takes time also, but it doesn't take much time. It's like that. The first thing that happens is you develop distaste from others, all sorts of material enjoyment. You develop distaste. Viraktir anyatra. So what happens? A person who is able to easily give up those attachments which he was not able to give because of the higher taste of bhakti. And that's what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Vishayamini vartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. So that is the first step. You lose material taste. So then that is how you understand you're making advancement. Number two, what happens? The number two that happens is a person is increasing his service attitude. Bhakti increases. Bhakti means the service attitude and the capacity to serve increases. One starts serving so much. And what is the third thing that happens? The third thing that happens is para isha anubhava. One starts seeing Krishna everywhere. He is able to get realizations of Krishna. Correct? So these three things happen. Acharyas explain, Bhagavatam explains. And majority of the times the disinterest, that's the first step. Virakti ranyatra. His distaste from material things. All things which appeared very nice. Somebody is attached to movies. Yeah, he gives up watching movies. Somebody attached to parties. Oh, he's given up parties. Oh, you used to be such a big party freak. Where are you? This you are not there in this 31st. Oh, I went to temple. Huh? You went to temple? How is this possible? It's impossible. We can't. It's unimaginable. But why it has happened? It has happened because of higher taste. That person has some rasagraha, some sweetness of Krishna's lotus feet he has got. But at the same time, a person who has experienced this sweetness of Krishna's lotus feet also may fall down. And last time we had discussed why one falls down. What's the cause? It is because of bad association. Because in bad association we develop bad qualities, and with the bad qualities we come to Vaishnav Sangha, we'll commit offenses. And that's how we fall down. We discussed this already, right? So yes, so people who fall down, they fall down just like karmis. They get a fallen state. Now for example, Bharat Maharaj becoming a deer may seem like a person, another person, just like a karmi who has fallen to a deer. But there's a difference. And Prabhupada gives a very wonderful example of how an orphan and a beloved child is treated. It is not the same. If there is a person who comes to a home, there's a thief who comes to somebody's house and steals all valuable property and he's caught. What will happen? They will gather all family members, neighbors, give him nice beating and then hand him over to the cops. This is what would happen. On the other hand, if a child from the home steals, what will happen? Of course, they'll not hand him over, they'll not beat him and hand him over to the police. Will he be treated in the same way? Beat him, call the neighbors, everyone hits and then hand him over to the police? No. Right? There will be a difference because there is a relationship. So similarly, a devotee is not, he doesn't get the harsh chastisement of Maya, but whatever his reformatory chastisement, Krishna personally does it. So that is the difference between the punishment of a fruitive worker and a devotee. Okay, Sachidanand Prabhu, you can read from the fruitive.
The fruitive workers want to lord it over the material world. Similarly, a neophyte devotee foolishly thinks of accumulating some material power in exchange for devotional service. Such foolish devotees are sometimes put into difficulty by the Lord Himself. As a special favor, He may remove all material paraphernalia, paraphernalia by such action. The bewildered devotee is forsaken by all friends and relatives, and so he comes to his senses again by the mercy of the Lord and is set right to execute this devotional service.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This is directly from a shloka of Bhagavatam that Prabhupada would often quote. Yes. So, Prabhupada, he had this Prayag pharmacy. Business was going on very well. Whenever he would dream, his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would come and tell, take sannyas, take sannyas. So, what Prabhupada wasn't taking, was thinking, should I take this dream very seriously or not? And what did Krishna do? Krishna flopped Prabhupada's business. Then he got, oh, yasyaham anugrinnami harishye taddanam shanaihi. This verse says that yasyaham anugrinnami, unto whom I bestow special mercy, anugrinnami, anugraha, harishye taddanam shanaihi. I slowly take away all his attachments. Dhanam is the wealth, but here it refers to in a broader sense to attachments. I take that person's attachments one by one, and now that person is having nothing left. Now what he will do? Now he has to take shelter of Krishna. Correct? So this is the mercy of devotees. And then what happens? All the relatives also, they give up this person. Swajana dukkha dukkita. So such relatives also, they think, oh, this fellow now doesn't have any wealth. What is the use of having relationship with this person? Just give him up. So everyone, all friends, relatives, everyone starts going. Now what he has left? Now he has to go back to his rounds. He has to go back to devotees and temple. And this is the result of a devotee performing Sakama Bhakti. Of course, Sakama Bhakti delays one's going back to Godhead. But if a devotee is very wonderful devotee, who is chanting Hare Krishna at the same time, using Bhakti for material advancement, then Krishna sees, oh, he's chanting so nicely, he's reading Bhagavatam so nicely, but at the same time, this material attachment is the problem. So what I should do? I will take it away. Now what? I have taken away your attachments. Now what will you do? Oh, now I'll come back to Krishna. Yes, this is what happens. So that's why this devotee Prabhupada is using the right words. He says such foolish devotees are sometimes put into difficulty by the Lord himself. And this is a special favor. Why? Because Krishna wants to take off all his material attachments. Now what you will do? Now I'll surrender to Krishna. So is it better to make Krishna do this, or willfully we only surrender? Yes, that's why an intelligent devotee is one who willfully surrenders and understands that all material attachments, etc., they all belong to Krishna. And thus he is attached only to Krishna. So what should we do? What should we do when we are having any material attachment? We should ask question. Number one, can I engage this in Krishna's service? Ask a question. And if the answer is yes, then we should engage it in Krishna's service. And the more we start engaging our such activities in Krishna's service, it's going to increase our bhakti. The second question then we ask, okay, if this cannot be engaged in Krishna's service, then what should do? In case the answer is no, then what should I do? Then I am supposed to slowly give it up. Can you give examples, all of you, of some things which cannot be engaged in Krishna's service? Certain attachments can't be engaged in Krishna's service. What is that? Anybody? Attachment to fictional movies. Correct. Everyone has desire to watch fiction. And this is going to increase our illusion. What is the anartha that increases when you watch fictional movies? It's staying fiction. But still, it's the illusion. The moha will increase. Correct? And same thing will happen if you read fictional books, fictional comics and content. We hear this, our moha will increase. Our illusion increases. That anartha will increase. So what should we do? This has to be replaced. That attachment to fictional movies, okay, let's watch devotional dramas. There are so many wonderful devotional dramas on YouTube. You can take a time slot and watch that. Of course, that cannot be counted in your sadhana scores. Prabhu, I watch devotional dramas. That's for entertainment, spiritual entertainment. Right? And similarly, books, you have to replace by Srimad Bhagavatam. You will find the real superheroes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Others are all fictional. Attachment to intoxication, even tea and coffee. Yes, that has to be given up. So then what is the replacement? Okay, you can make some nice herbal tea, herbal coffee, offer it to Krishna and take that. Herbal tea, herbal coffee. So you have to replace such attachments. Yes, replace it. So that such replacing is very important. That thing which can be engaged, engage it. That thing which cannot be engaged, replace it. And somebody who does this will get a lot of mercy. Going for tours, yes, Switzerland, Amsterdam. Now tours, Mayapur, Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri. Yes, go for tours, but go for Dham Yatra with devotees. Attachment to food that cannot be offered to Lord. Yes, attachment to food that can be offered to Lord. Yes, prepare, learn cooking, make tasty prasadam. Go to Govinda's restaurant and have, no problem. But do not have food that's not sanctioned and sanctified. Okay? Fine, let's come back. Okay, who can read? Nitin Prabhu's hand was up, right? Nitin Prabhu, you can read.
In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that such fallen devotees are given a chance to take a birth in a family of highly qualified brahmanas or in a rich mercantile family. A devotee in such position is not a fortunate.
Is not as fortunate as one who is chastised by the Lord.
Who is chastised by the Lord and put into the position. Actually, I have some virus in laptop. That's why my screen is hiding some part. That's why.
Okay, if no problem. Thank you, Prabhu. Somebody else would like to read? Okay.
Who was chastised by the Lord and put into a position of seemingly of helplessness. The devotee who becomes helpless by the will of the Lord is more fortunate than those who are born in good families. The fallen devotees born in a good family may forget the lotus feet of the Lord because they are less fortunate. But the devotee who is put into a forlorn condition is more fortunate because he swiftly returns to the lotus feet of the Lord, thinking himself helpless.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
All right.
So there are two kinds of ways in which Krishna deals. One thing is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita 6.40, 6th chapter, 40th verse. Nai kalyana krit kashchit durgatim tata gacchati. In that, Krishna says that one who has started this process of yoga, such a person is guaranteed human life. Number one. Number two, 6.41, somebody is yoga brashta. He did yoga progressing and between he just fell off. Yoga brashta. He is given the birth of Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe. He takes birth in the house of a rich mercantile family or in the house of very pious brahmanas. By which what happens? He doesn't have to face, in the mercantile family, he doesn't have to face material encumbrances. He will have a very good life, and thus he will, without material discomfort or any problems, he can practice bhakti whenever he comes in contact with devotees. The second, in Brahmana family, he will already have very nice, very conducive environment, very pious environment, less sinful activities. Esham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmana, and less pap, more bhakti. Okay, more tendency to do bhakti. The third is somebody is born who is very progressive. He's gone up till something like 80%, 90%. Such a person is born in the house of and homes of Vaishnava Acharyas. And there Prabhupada writes that myself and my spiritual master, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, had this great fortune to be born in the homes of Vaishnava Acharyas. Prabhupada writes that. So that's the three levels. But Prabhupada is writing here, they are not that fortunate as somebody who is chastised by the Lord and brought back to track, because with such chastisement one is put into forlorn situation. That means he has no other dependency now. I have nowhere else to turn to. Okay, now I have to turn to Krishna. They say sometimes, जिसका कोई नहीं होता उसका भगवान होता है. They say this, right? One who has nobody, he has Bhagwan, he has Krishna. And Krishna creates that situation. So they are more fortunate. They are the most fortunate people. On the other hand, somebody who is under this arrangement, six chapter arrangements, Prabhupada saying they are not that fortunate because it takes some time. And they may not even remember past life so easily. On the other hand, somebody is put in that distressful situation, one has to immediately turn around and in this very life they go back to Godhead. So helplessness created is actually a great gift. A great gift. Okay, last paragraph, who would like to read? Okay. Meenakshi Krishna Padapo.
Pure devotional service is so spiritually relishable that a devotee becomes automatically uninterested in material enjoyment. That is the sign of perfection in progressive devotional service. A pure devotee continuously remembers the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna and does not forget him even for a moment, not even in exchange for all the opulence of the three worlds.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So here's a litmus test for all of us. We have to check this. Number one, are we losing taste for material things? And are we gaining taste for bhakti? These all will be like cassette. How many of you operated cassette tape? Cassettes? Yes. Cassette tape always has A side and B side. You've seen that? A is for attachment side, B is for bhakti side. So like this, two sides. And when A side increases, B side reduces. And B side increases, A side automatically reduces. You've seen that? So our goal is to increase the B side. And automatically the A side will go off. So this is the first test. Are we developing taste in bhakti? Or are we losing taste in material objects? And what is the test of the taste? The test is that one will, whenever given time, you have a small free slot. Okay, I'm free now. I'm free for next 10 minutes. What is that person going to do? Will that person rush up to the bead bag and pick up the beads and chant? Will that person rush to the Bhagavatam and read? Will that person put on the lecture and listen? Or that person will think, okay, let me watch some reels. Okay, let me watch some news. Correct? 10 minutes, I have what to do? Suppose somebody got one day off. Will that person run to temple and try to hunt for some service? Or that person will think, okay, I have off. Okay, morning we'll relax, then we'll go for some outing, then some shopping. Yeah, you can do that also, but where is the first thing? Off, can I go to Mangalarti? So what is the thought process? So that is the taste. So even if one has time, if he doesn't have taste for bhakti, that person will not be able to make advancement. And what is the second thing? Second thing is how much our remembrance of Krishna is more. Again, practically remembrance of Krishna will happen when we do direct sadhana, but we have to check. We have to keep checking, are we remembering Krishna more or are we remembering Maya more? We get 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, but in those thoughts that we get per day, what kind of thoughts we are getting? So that's a subtle game. That's the next level we have to see. Sometimes one may be in temple but thinking about theatre. You're in temple, you're thinking of theatre. Somebody may be chanting but thinking about sleeping. Somebody may be reading Bhagavatam but remembering all movies. Yes, happens. So where is our mind? That is the next check that we have to do. Alright, we'll pause here. So the whole crux of today's discussion is somehow or the other, taste the Krishna Bhakti. Get one bite. We should hanker for that. One bite of that prasad. One bite of that bhakti. Let me get. And the taste that will be there, that is something which is going to keep haunting me and inspiring me to give up Maya and just be with Krishna. Yes, Mother Shalini, go ahead.
I'll be very Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'll be very quick with my questions. So you mentioned Tushti, Pushti. What was the third one? I missed that.
Shud apayah. Shud apay. Shud is hunger. Apaya means the hunger is appeased.
Okay, thank you. And the second
I'll give you
question
the
is
shloka. I'll give you the shloka. You can read and memorize if need be.
Perfect.
This is 11th canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 42.
Thank you, Prabhuji. One more question. You mentioned Rati Abhas, then you started talking about Bhava. What is the meaning of Rati really?
Rati is bhav. Rati and
Oh,
bhav is
Rati
not
is
different.
Bhava. Okay.
This Bhagavatam, Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishati. Kapil Dev explains this word. So Rati and bhav, there is no difference.
Okay. And third, I just wanted to share one realization that, when you were talking about Krishna knows how to bring you back, I was like, Krishna knows how to handle us, his children. We are stuck in the material world, and he knows how to handle us very smartly. Different types, just like a father knows how to go to each child, and he knows the inside workings of that child, and he handles them on an individual basis. So I just got this realization.
Thank you. It's very true. We handle everyone differently. So Krishna knows how to handle us.
Because he's the
What will
father.
inspire this person? Yes, yes. He's our ultimate father and a well-wishing friend. He knows. Thank you. Thank you for that realization.
Thank you.
Yes, Neena Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all our Guru Maharajas and all glories to assembled devotees here. Wonderful, wonderful class, Prabhuji. It's very, very relatable class. Thank you so much, as always. One quick question. You were talking about these thoughts, right? We have to watch our thoughts. It's very, very poignant point. Yes. Now, even while chanting, the thoughts are still somehow in our control. We can, like, if some unwanted thoughts are coming, we can offer it back to Krishna, because no matter good or bad, is all coming from him. So, in order to purify the mind, the thoughts can be stopped. However, one thing I'm struggling with is the impressions. So, for example, Prabhuji, the whole day, yes, in the morning we are attached to Lord's holy name. We enjoy chanting. We enjoy doing whatever little we can do. But the rest, majority of the time, is spent elsewhere. The daily routine, which we are, even though very in the beginning we offer it. Let's say you're driving for an hour to go to work, or your whole day work, or meeting people. So in the evening, if we try again back, or the next morning, somehow those impressions, even they are not important, they are staying there. And if you are chanting and you are, for example, you're meditatingly chanting, you're focusedly chanting, and your eyes are half closed, those impressions flashes by, which doesn't make sense. How can we stop that or watch that? That disturbs. I don't know if you could kindly shed some
Yes, yes,
light.
definitely. Hare Krishna. That's a very wonderful question and very something which everyone experiences. When it comes to negativity, that sinks in very easily. Even for one second, a small short reel of 16 seconds sinks in and it can play for the next 16 hours, 16 days, or 16 months, or 16 years. On the other hand, the 16 rounds that we do, that doesn't sink in so very easily. The impurity sinks in very fast. Whereas for Krishna consciousness, we need a prolonged exposure. The longer the exposure, more the absorption or absorption, we can call it in our consciousness. Because we are in the territory of Maya, number one. Number two, we have absorbed Maya so many impressions in the past. So many impressions in the past that it has become quite habitual. And a little trigger can lead to a very big explosion. And we have distanced ourselves so much from Krishna that it has become kind of foreign. What is foreign has become natural, and what is natural has become foreign. So we have to reverse this. The process of Krishna consciousness is to make Maya foreign and Krishna consciousness natural. That's the whole process. And thus it's very important that we try to have prolonged exposure. That's the goal Shastras give, prolonged exposure of Krishna consciousness. Big dose. Especially That's why Sunday we try to go and get a prolonged exposure. Go in the morning. And especially the impressions that we create in the morning time, they really matter a lot. The first things first. That's why as soon as we get up, now mind is ready. So we take a quick shower, we bathe, we are ready, start with Krishna. That's why the morning program is very important. And Prabhupada also gave the evening program. We can all have our own evening programs. We can end our day with Krishna book and create that impression. And when we build these Krishna conscious habits consistently, then they carry a compound effect. Yes, compound effect. So that's the way we can beat all these negative impressions which have gone inside. Okay, and even after becoming Krishna conscious, we get these negative impressions, immediately you have to pray to Krishna and say, Krishna, cancel, I don't want this. Just like you go to a hotel, you cancel the order. Like that you have to cancel the order. Krishna, please cancel this order. Don't take this. Correct? Yes. Tisha Prabhu, if it's okay if I take your question after Bhagavad Gita class? We'll have a short class. बहुत छोटा class होने वाला है. श्लोक भी छोटा है. We'll end the Bhagavatam class here.